the top. Act like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting up guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your...
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Solid.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
74.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This is Ajayi, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180. We're 5-7.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On play action, it's Wentz. Out to his left. This complete left side to Aguilar. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. 81, full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Now let's go.
He'll look to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now a carry for the fullback. This is Jay Prosch. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
It wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's a handoff to a Giant to begin the drive. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On the dive, here's the fullback rush. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case, they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. 120. 82. 82.
Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Hauschka with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Michael Bannon, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. A big play there from Ajayi. 44 yards on the ground. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Black, come on. Here we go. 180. There, sit. Black. Please, black, step. Hey, stat.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now it's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's Ajayi. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Hang in there now. On the ball.
They'll run for it here. This is Prosh, the fullback. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Prosh, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Hauschka adds the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go. 3-19.
A handoff to Barkley. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Hauschka with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting at him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now let's go. 3.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Go. Two jet. Great 15. Let's go. Great.
Wentz now on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this one is incomplete. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Hicks able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. The Giants on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Lion.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside
81,
later.
81. Grade 15, grade 15. 357.
On second down, here's Wentz. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And they'll run it here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a quick handoff, and this is the fullback, Cross. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Here we go. 20.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles continue to roll. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
4 down. Check. Don't go. 180. That's it. Lion.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Green 39.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 57 yards. He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. And his kick is good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, 4 down. Hey, Lou.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And now running right through it. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle. And that's going to tack on 15 more. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hey.
They run again with Ajayi. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue, line it.
They'll look to throw. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll field this at the 5. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it cost them 2 points.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll set up a throw. They'll get this out to Barkley complete, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Now back to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nigel Bradham in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go.
Back to throw here to Barkley on the check down. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out in your midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
74.
Now a handoff looking right. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Four down. Check. 55 is my guy, 55.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
82, 82. Come on, Fleck. 82, 82.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Aguilar has it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.